Welcome to my first morning in Can Tho at the Mekong Rose Hotel. As is my habit, I was up really early this morning. I woke up, my eyes popped open. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I've been up for hours already before the sun was up, and I've been drinking coffee here in my room. And now the sun is up, and this room is quite a change from like even my rooms in Kuala Lumpur, where I was staying earlier, and my most recent room at the Adenia Hotel in Saigon. You couldn't really look outside. There was no window at my hotel in Malaysia at all. And then my main room at the Adenia did have a window, but it looked out onto a building, like an alleyway, and you couldn't even see the sky. So I had no idea what the weather was like. I would try to crane my head at the window and look up, and I'm trying, but no matter how low you get and how sharply you look upward, I could never see the sky. So I never knew what the window was like, what the weather was like. So this room is quite a change, because not only do I have a massive window over here, look at that, to let in the light of the day. I've got this huge window, so I know I know what the weather is like for a change. I also have a balcony, so I can go out onto the balcony and look around. Here's my neighborhood. And the first thing I saw when I stepped outside here this morning was this little pho place. I don't know what kind of pho that is. It says pho. I don't know how to pronounce that. Bo. I don't know what that means, but my first idea was to go down there and have some breakfast. I'm not usually a breakfast person, but I've been deciding lately that I should become one, that I should try to grab something to eat in the morning when I first wake up. And if I have a convenient spot like that, well, might as well take advantage of it. So anyway, long story, just to say I'm heading down there for some noodles. Well, I am here enjoying my pho, and that time lapse came to you courtesy of a new mounting system that I'm trying out for my GoPro. And the entire mounting system, if you want to peek behind the scenes here on Planet Doug, which I do enjoy, for some crazy reason I ended up purchasing one of these while I was in Saigon. I found this amazing action camera accessory store, just an incredible place where they sell everything, every single doodad, every gadget, every adapter, everything you can possibly want or imagine they have in this tiny shop. It was incredible. And I've been thinking about getting one of these for a long time, because I do like to mount a GoPro on my chest to get kind of a POV where you have your hands free. Anyway, I wanted to try out one of these gizmos, which you put around your neck like this, and then the GoPro sits right here. And I'm not used to it yet. So when I was putting it on here this morning, I don't know, it's kind of awkward, because using this quick release system, you accidentally touch the screen of the GoPro all the time. The way it works, and I flipped the GoPro over to time warp without knowing it. So that's what happened there. I mounted the camera here, and in twisting it to lock it into place, the palm of my hand touched the GoPro screen and changed the settings to time warp, and I didn't realize it. So you got an entire time warp, a time lapse of me talking about my noodles, adding this sweet sauce adding this hot sauce and adding some lime as well. And anyway, basically what I said was the noodles were very good, and I'm very glad that this pho place is right across the road from the Mekong Rose. So, life of a YouTuber, you occasionally get the accidental time warp. That's happened to me in the past. Yeah, for sure. Noodle breakfast is done, and just for the experience and for the coffee, I just popped into the coffee shop here at my hotel. I don't know if it's the same business owner, but anyway, there is this little cafe, little restaurant right underneath the hotel. And seems like it might even be possible, if you're a guest at the hotel, to sit here and eat noodles from over there. I think I saw the woman from there come across, and she cleared some of the tables here. So I think you can get noodles from her and eat them here in more comfortable setting. Though I'm sure you still have to order a drink from these people. Just that makes sense, right? There you go. So, nice. The noodles, by the way, cost 25,000 dong, which is about $1, I guess. And here I ordered cafe suada. I keep thinking back to the very first day when I arrived in Vietnam, and I went out with my friend Rod, traveling all around Saigon, and we stopped for coffee at the side of the road when we got back. And the woman there was determined that I was going to learn how to say cafe suada properly with the right falling, rising, steady tones. And she repeated it over and over again. So every time I think of iced milk coffee, which is cafe suada, I hear her singing it in proper Vietnamese accents. Cafe suada, cafe suada. Anyway, that is what I ordered, iced milk coffee. And look at that. It even comes with iced tea. Not only iced tea, but a little teapot with extra iced tea. Love that. Yeah, based on the people sitting around me, I think this hotel is very popular with local traveling businessmen. All these guys around me seem to be on the road, working for a company, doing deals here, selling whatever it is they're doing, buying, importing, exporting. Just seems like that kind of a place. So let's try my cafe suada. That's nice. That's really nice. Living the good life here on Planet Doug this morning. That's the front desk and reception. You'll recognize it by the wild Mustang painting on the wall. But something I took a closer look at is this painting here showing, I guess, what they think are the main attractions of this area, and going over them. Of course, that is the floating market. And apparently there's quite a fancy, colorful bridge that lights up at night. I definitely want to go there at night, check that place out. And this is likely a temple of some kind, but I'm not clear about that. But the other place I'm actually interested in is up here at the top, and that's actually a stork sanctuary. But it's a little bit out of town, like 40, 50, 60 kilometers from Can Tho, but it's supposed to be quite interesting. with thousands and thousands of storks living there. So yeah, some of the attractions here. But yeah, this is the street in daylight where my hotel is located. There are actually a bunch of hotels here that, according to Google Maps reviews, are highly rated actually. So the Mekong Rose is right there on the corner, but right beside it is this other one, Thai Tuan, which is supposed to be quite nice. And then there's another one here, just right here, the CT Morning Hostel, which is also highly rated on Google Maps reviews. So you got quite a choice here. I think anybody would be quite happy staying there, staying at this one, the Thai Tuan or the Mekong Rose, and I think they're all relatively in the same price range. And right here on the corner is another lovely looking cafe. What strikes me again in a place like Vietnam is quality of life from a certain point of view. Because look at that cafe right now. It's about 20 after 8 in the morning, and it's just jammed with people relaxing, chatting with friends, having a cup of iced coffee, iced tea, and this sort of casual, social encounters, just hanging out. You don't really see that, perhaps, in a place like Canada, where in day-to-day life, you just don't have the time or the opportunity for that. And just look all the way up that street, tons and tons of people getting something to eat, something to drink at the side of the road. Banh mi right there. My gosh. But just the pace of life just seems so much more pleasurable when I think back to my brief stints of trying to live and work in a place like Toronto, where you just don't have the time or the opportunity for this kind of lifestyle. Much more pleasant, I think, in a place like this. There are so many places to eat and drink in Vietnam. You wonder when people have the time to go to work sometimes, right? It's just, yeah, look at all these people early in the morning, just having a good time, living the good life. And in keeping with my theme of the morning, check out this place beside me, just meters away from where I was before, just packed with people. But yeah, this is what we end up doing to ourselves. I mean, I suppose, again, on an observational level, this is what life can be, the difficult side of things. All I did was go out and have a cup of iced coffee and go get some water, and look at me. I'm just exhausted. I'm covered in sweat. I have to take a shower. I have to rest before I can go on and do anything else during the day. So it really is the heat and the humidity that just defeats someone like me in this part of the world. I've lived here most of my life, but I've never adjusted. I'm just hot and sweaty and exhausted and taking cold showers all day long. That's the only way you can survive. And yeah, I'm just drenched in sweat just from running one little errand, right? And that's, I suppose that's the difficult aspect of life here. There are the good things and the challenging things. Welcome to the Mad Dogs and Englishmen part of the day's activities. It's about 10:30 in the morning now, and the sun is just about to really start beating down. So of course, we foreigners, that's when we leave air-conditioned comfort, and that's when we head out exploring. I just want to get to know my own local neighborhood a little bit better. As I may have explained already, the heart of the tourism district I've discovered is about 2 kilometers away, down by the walking street, and that's where the local night market is, with all the outside food stalls and the river cruise boats, things like that. And I'm more in a local neighborhood, but there is a river here and a river there and a river there. Wherever you go in Can Tho, you're going to be surrounded by rivers, so it's a very nice town from that point of view. And there appears to be a big park right over there, so I'm going to go for a little walk. Beautiful day today. It's hot. Hello. Blue skies, but got a nice wind. Very breezy down here in the Mekong Delta, the Mekong River Delta, so that's nice. And I'm going to try and get across this road. Down there is the main river. The How River is over there, and there's another river just over here. Walking today feels very different from walking yesterday. Coming from the bus station, I had my 180,000 pound backpack on my back. It was a lot more difficult. Right now I'm walking around and I was like, hey, why does it feel so good to be walking? It's like, you don't have the backpack. So yeah, it makes a big difference. So coming up on a little alleyway here. Yeah, I don't know where it goes. One word I've learned in my time here is H-E-M, assuming they call the letters that way. That means alley, something like that. So that's alley 71A, but I don't know. It doesn't look like a river park down that way, does it? So keep going. Still walking along, all kinds of fascinating shops here. There are like mechanic shop right here. Looking down a couple of the other alleyways, there were little hotels tucked away at the very end, little tea shops, cold drinks places, a food co-op. But yeah, here's another alleyway down that way, but again, there don't seem to be any openings onto the river. So we keep walking along. I have a feeling I won't be able to follow that river, but that's okay. We'll follow the How River instead once I get down to the big one. Another alleyway, what do we think? No, looks like a dead end down there as well. Just a few meters away from the river. So exciting. Little things like this I find very entertaining and interesting. I wonder if they even have like a little boat that goes back and forth, because there seems to be a dock here of a sort. Yeah, look at that. Amazing. Look at that. Right in the heart of Can Tho, just steps away from my hotel. You got a river scene like this. And I have no idea where this boat could have come from. I don't even know what that cargo is right now, but they're unloading it by hand, arm load at a time. Yeah, I wonder what it is. I have no idea where it came from, and It's got to be some kind of agricultural product. Sugar, maybe? I'm not really sure. Yeah, it looks like sugar. Could also be coconut based. Yeah, he's loading up a cart. He's going to bring it into a market somewhere. All right. And look at this. And if you needed a, you know, fluorescent light, pick one up down here as well. Who knows what would come floating down this river. Little treasures. But yeah, there's another walkway over there. It goes down to the river. People are bringing buckets down to get some water, probably for washing clothes, things like that. Of course, you wouldn't be drinking this water, I wouldn't think, but look at that. It's so amazing. Life in the Mekong River Delta. And look at this house right here. Again, I'm very impressed with even little places like this, all like plants that have been deliberately potted and just made to beautify the outside of this little house, this building, whatever it is. I was standing here taking some pictures and shooting some video, and a friendly woman came up to me, spoke in English, and said, are you waiting for the ferry? And she says, if you're waiting for the ferry, you know, you might as well not, because it's broken. There is no ferry running. So I guess normally there is a ferry that runs back and forth here, goes from this side over to that other entry, that little dock that I pointed out already. But she says, yeah, it's broken, so it's not running right now. But then I got to ask her about what's in this cargo, and she said it's salt. This is all salt. I took a close look at it, and to my eye, it looks like sugar, but she confirmed it with some other people locally, and they says, no, that's a salt, and it comes from a nearby city. She told me the name of the city, but I couldn't understand what it was. None of the city names in Vietnam are familiar to me as yet, but yeah, salt. That is a lot of salt. Discovering a little spot like that, walking down this alleyway and finding a river like that, it makes me so happy. I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm like beside myself with, yeah, Planet Doug happiness, going out exploring. This is amazing. So for a while, I've been on the hunt for a little barbershop, a little alleyway, street side shop. And I just spotted one, and there are no customers in there. And I typed this out into Google Translate, and I wanted to ask, can you trim my hair? Because I don't want like a really short haircut, I just want to trim. But it comes out in English as, can you cut my hair? But this is what it sounds like.
Bạn có thể cắt tóc cho tôi được không?
And I'm going to show this to the man and see whether he's willing to take a stab at cutting a foreigner's hair or not. Let's see what happens.
Bạn có thể cắt tóc cho tôi được không?
Like this hair? It's okay? Okay. I'll just sit here. Yeah.
Nhiều khi nó thấy cũng chưa có gì, thành ra nó cũng không có ấy đâu anh ơi.
So the son of the barber actually came out to talk to me for a little while, and he speaks English really well, and he spoke to his father, and I communicated through him that I didn't want a really short haircut, but more like a trim and sort of cleaning it up and just looking neater, and he communicated all that to his father. So. And he's fine with me shooting a little bit of video of the haircut. So here we go. So how long has your father been cutting hair?
Dạ, cái cắt được nhiêu lâu rồi cha? Bao nhiêu năm rồi cha?
37 năm.
It has been 37 years.
37 years.
Yes.
Has he always worked out of this spot, or he had other, like a barbershop somewhere, anywhere else?
He's always here.
Always here. That's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, that's great. 37 years.
Ủa mày còn nhớ hồi đó cũng có cái thời mà mấy năm cho đi cắt tóc kiểu như là dạo á, cho chạy xe đi cắt mà đúng không? Cha chưa có cái trò này đâu.
Ừ.
Là bao nhiêu năm đầu á cha?
2 năm rồi.
Oh yeah, so the first 2 years is actually back in the day in Vietnam we don't usually have like this place to do this.
Mhm.
So my father usually ride on a motorcycle,
Oh.
run around and just cutting hair.
I
That's for
see.
like the first 2 years. And finally he has a place at the third year. Yeah, he has a place here, so he settled here,
Oh,
and he's been doing it since.
that's great. Do you mind if I ask you what you're studying at university?
My major is English studies.
Oh, English. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
And you did mention you're interested in YouTube, maybe starting your own YouTube channel.
Yes.
What kind of subject or what kind of videos do you think would interest you to make?
For me, I think it's going to be like motor vlog and vlogging.
I see.
Just traveling around, vlogging, and also motor vlog because I like travel by bike.
I get it.
I
Yeah.
love long rides. Yeah, I don't really enjoy planes.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a motorbike now?
Yes, but it's like the typical motorbike you would see in Vietnam,
Right.
and it's not very suitable for like long trip.
I see.
Yeah.
A lot of foreigners do that though. They'll go all the way from Saigon all the way to Hanoi
Yeah.
on one of those little 125cc scooters.
Right.
Where they go through the mountains and everything. So you can do it on a little bike,
Yeah.
but
It's like mine. It's actually all the motorcycles in my house belongs to my father.
I see.
Yeah. So it is really old. Like the model,
Okay.
yeah, it's really old. So it's like only 110 cc. It's like 110. So it's suitable for you to go around in the city, but not like long travel.
I see.
Yeah, but the model, at least the model looks good, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Loves old models.
Mm.
About that.
Like a Vespa kind of thing?
Yeah, you can say that.
Mm.
He's into those type
Okay.
old Vietnamese motorcycle models back in like 2004 and stuff like that. He's
Cool.
really into it.
Well, I can set you free from camera duties.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was great. I really enjoyed that.
I hope I didn't mess up the shot.
Oh, that'll be perfect. Yeah.
Vô hết đi.
Yeah, there you go.
That was looking amazing. So much better. But still has the length. Really nice job. Thank you very much. All right. I've reached a corner on this Mad Dogs and Englishmen expedition, stepping out into that sun. Oh man, that is beating down, let me tell you. And there's not many people out walking around right now. Local people have more sense than to be out here. But I came across this road that seems like it's going towards a dock of some kind. There might even be a ferry down here. that's going across the Can Tho, no, the How River. So that's where I'm heading right now. It's quite a wide boulevard, as you can see, pretty empty. So one other thing I really like about the Vietnamese people, again, being so sensible when they're trying to communicate how much something costs, they just do the logical thing and they show me the amount of money in money. So this ferry ride costs 2,000 dong, and rather than try to say that 100 times in Vietnamese, thinking I'll understand the 99th time she says it, she just like instantly realizes, oh, there's no point. And then she pulled 2,000 dong out of the drawer and showed me, okay, this is how much. And it's just so logical, it's so easy, so simple, so obvious. But in a lot of places, it takes a long time to figure that out. Anyway, I think I have to get out of the way because all these scooters, oh, I can hop over here. They're going to probably zoom down the ramp and go in this direction to exit, I think, like that. And then everybody here is getting on. So exciting. I have no idea where it's going, of course, but I'm assuming I can just go across and then come right back. Here they come, unloading. So let's climb aboard. Yeah, very similar to the ferry I saw in Saigon. I didn't ride on that one, but I noticed that they have like a loop around, so you can ride on, go around the end, and then loop backwards. Because you get on and you get off at the same end right here. And then a lot of them would instantly ride here to the back to get underneath the roof here. And then they get out of the sun and get some shade. It looks like it's large enough for an actual vehicle, like a car or a truck could get fit on here. And I'm assuming it can handle the weight. I'm not entirely sure about that. It's particularly the ramp, I guess. The ramp would be the weak spot in terms of bringing something heavier up here. I haven't seen any kind of a car or truck trying to get on one of these yet, but maybe they can. There's another similar kind of barge. Looks like it has a ramp on the front as well. Coming up the river. Yeah, I think we're gonna get some rain, so I better be prepared for that too. Got to keep an eye on things. But here it comes around the corner. Another big ramp on the front. It looks like it has some heavy-duty construction equipment on there, like a big machine for packing down pavement or something like that, asphalt. Yeah, there's definitely rain on its way. You can feel it. I do have an umbrella with me, but Probably have to find shelter at some point. We're waiting for a few minutes on this end, just getting as many people on board as possible. Yeah, it's getting very windy. And I'm not the only one feeling the rain coming. This woman with her stall here covered everything up, getting out a raincoat. Yeah, the rain is coming. Rain is on its way. You can see how fast the wind is blowing, how fast those clouds are moving. I wasn't expecting this little ferry, this ferry ride to turn into such a physical adventure, but yeah, it's like a typhoon wind has picked up. A couple of the motorcycles have nearly blown over. People have had to catch them before they went completely topsy-turvy with all the market produce in the baskets. Things have blown across the surface of the ferry. Yeah, people are getting ready for the storm to hit. Or who knows, maybe it'll just blow right over top of us and there won't be any rain at all. We'll see. We're on the way. I don't know if it's a schedule or whether they just wait until it feels loaded enough before they go. Oh, there's like a 4x4, like a heavily loaded motorcycle. They just sort of raced on even as the ramp was pulling away. I was gonna say it was a 4x4, but no, it just looked like he's got like a big toy car on the back of his motorcycle. Yeah. On our way. Wonder if the wind will be even stronger out in the middle of the river. But we're not going that far. You can see the other side. We seem to be docking at a place called Vin Bin or Bin Min, I forget now, something like that. But yeah, we're only going across somewhere to over there. That's the How River out there, the big one. There's the dock where we're leaving from. And if all goes well, I'll be coming back here in half an hour or so. If not, I guess we're waving goodbye to Can Tho and the Mekong Rose Hotel. Nothing gets better than rivers, really. And a river this size, it's almost like being on the ocean, the scale of it. You get all these amazing boats. And there's the big bridge. I saw those giant towers and the suspension cables from a distance last night, but I wasn't quite sure which bridge it was, but yeah, there it is now. There's a classic boat, very familiar from Thailand, with the red painted bow with the eyes, very common design. Yeah, I guess people make a personal calculation about what makes the most sense, because they don't need to take the ferry. Really, they could just ride over to that bridge, cross the bridge, but I guess if it saves them enough time, then it's worthwhile just to wait for the ferry. And it's not expensive. I don't know what it costs to bring a scooter across, but it's only 2,000 dong for a passenger like me. My question about the wind, whether or not the wind will be stronger out on the river, is being answered. Yeah, it's considerably stronger out here mid-river. Even getting a few small white caps. It's a good thing I got a haircut. My longer hair would have been blowing it all over the place right now. Yeah, we're getting close to the other side. Almost docking over there. This is kind of cool. The storm winds have blown all of this plant life against shore here. So where the ramp goes, it's actually covered in vegetation. The dock. Older ferry boats, or maybe they're still in working condition. Got to use a lot of power to slow down with this wind pushing us. And there's no ceremony about getting on and off. You just go. As soon as it touches down, everybody just goes. Even before the boat has stopped, come to a complete stop. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Isn't that so funny? On an airplane, you get the warnings constantly about stay in your seat until the plane has come to a complete stop. No such concerns on these ferries. People are already getting off long before the boat is touch down. Look at this load of incense. And this is one of the last guys to get on. Hello. Bye-bye. I'll see you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. I will I go back. So this is the dock on the other side. Hello, how are you? I was looking for a place to pay over here, but there is no ticket counter here. So it was like the ferry I rode on when I came from the bus station. They have only one ticket counter on one side. And I never even thought of that, but it's so logical and it's so efficient. Cost effective, because when you think about it, you don't need a ticket booth on both sides. People coming this way, they pay before they get on the boat. People returning, they pay when they get off, but it amounts to the same thing. You can control the traffic both ways. Very clever. I'm very poor at lateral thinking. I never would have thought of that myself without seeing it in action. But yeah, I'm right back on the same boat. I thought I had to get off and pay again to come back, but that's not how it works. But yeah, you can see the waves, the river waves rocking through all the greenery here. Yeah, I'm just thinking there's no sense hanging out here waiting for the typhoon to hit. Well, there's a boat going, I might as well get on board and go back, just in case. Who knows, maybe they'll shut down the boats if it gets too rough out there, the wind gets too strong, so it's better if I go back right away. This is the coast just on the other side. The ferry has just started up its engines, and we're just leaving from the dock here. And yeah, just stay dry, I guess. It's time to head back here under a shelter. once the boat turns around completely, this should be the driest place to be standing, I think. We'll see if that works out. Just as I often have the ability to find the worst possible table in a restaurant, I also have the knack of finding the worst possible place to be on a boat, bus, or train. Yeah, I think maybe the other side would be better. Yeah, this is where all the intelligent people are hiding. Those without raincoats. There's some odd devices up here on the roof. I think they must be a sort of primitive life jacket. The straps, and they're probably just like bottles full of air. But yeah, a type of life jacket, or not primitive ones, I should say inexpensive life jackets. Yeah, it's just a bottle with a handle with a strap on it. Some kind of snack to eat. I don't really know what they are, but I asked for 3 of them. Okay. And can you put it? How much? Dong? 15,000? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Come on. Oh, thank you. So I got these snacks. It looks like some sort of we're arriving, by the way, at the far end. These are very heavy duty. They're heavier than I thought. Some kind of deep fried bread with sesame seeds or poppy seeds or something, but I don't know if there's anything inside them or not. Let me take a bite. Yeah, it just appears to be some kind of a bread. Sweet. Oh, tasty. It's raining quite a bit heavier out there. I have to run for cover. I'll get up. And then I do have an umbrella, but I better. Ooh, this guy crashed. Yeah, it's going to be really slippery right now, so you have to drive carefully. And walk carefully. Stay up there. Is it 2?
Three.
3.
Yeah.
One. Yep. 2. 1. 3. Thank you. So yeah, there's the weather out there. Not great for wandering around right now. I have to wait for a bit. Good thing I got some snacks. So there goes my ferry, and it's on its way back now. It's been a few minutes. They've been waiting to pick up passengers. And it was as I suspected. I had to pay when I came off the boat on this end. But I haven't left it. I've already paid for that last trip. But for obvious reasons, I haven't left the dock yet. Pouring rain out there. Luckily, I had my little bread snacks. I've been munching through them as I've been sitting here, waiting for the rain to stop. It might take a while. Feels like this rain is here for the duration. It's a very steady downpour. And I think over there, they're currently selling some sugarcane juice, which in Vietnamese sounds like this.
Nước mía. Nước mía.
And I'm going to see if I can get some of that. Still waiting for the rain to stop over here. So, yeah, like a nước mía.
Nước mía.
Yeah, nước mía. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. Oh, I think it's already ready to go. I think they have it already pressed in a container. So they got ice here, and then a lot of ice, and then there's the sugarcane all ready to go. Amazing! Oh, look at that! It's so good. And I've just been asking people to type out the price on a calculator, and they could tell me how much it is. Can you tell me how much?
10.000.
Like 10? Yeah. I just have a. Thank you. So, thank you. So there it is, my sugarcane juice. And yeah, I think I'll just go back to my seat. It's nice and dry over here. I've often noted how much more complicated life becomes when it starts to rain. Whatever it is you're doing, I don't care what it is, now it's raining, it's got to be 10 times more difficult to do anything. It just is. It's just weird. Rain makes everything so awkward. And anyway, I was able to get my tub of sugarcane juice. I guess the same thing would apply to capturing video with your GoPro. That also makes everything 10 times more difficult. I'm just trying to pick up my cup of sugarcane juice, and it's nearly impossible to do it one-handed. It's like a tub. So there it is. And I'm just waiting for it to get nice and cold. But yeah, let's take a sip. So good. And I know I've been going on and on about this, but it just seems to be such a theme of my time in Vietnam that a lot of these things that I'm doing here, just taking buses, checking into hotels, getting haircuts, buying drinks and snacks on the street, which tended to be kind of complicated to do, say in Sumatra, very difficult to communicate sometimes. But here, the Vietnamese seem able to just instinctively come up with whatever makes sense, like a common sense approach to communicating, because it really isn't that complicated when you think about it. I walked up to this counter to order something, and I had it all typed out on Google Translate. I thought I was going to have to play it for them 10 times and go through a whole procedure. But she saw me looking at the sugarcane juice display, and then she pointed at it and said the name for it. It's like Nok Mia, something like that, Nok Mia. And she pointed at it and looked at me and said, "Oh, Nok Mia? That's what you want?" I went, "Well, yeah." And then she just made it and handed it to me. And then I was all ready to type out the price on a calculator on my phone, have a big long discussion about how much it costs. And then she's just like, "Oh, you don't have to do that." And she just held up 10 fingers, 10,000 dong. It's like, wow, this is all so logical. And then, yeah, just very easy to do all these things. But anyway, I have my sugarcane juice. Nice. I'm trying to keep up with more liquid intake, because yesterday I really fell down on the job when it came to that. I think my body was like 10 gallons lighter by the time I got to my hotel, because I was sweating so much, and I hadn't replenished. I hadn't had anything to drink hardly all day long. So yeah, I was so dehydrated by the end of the day. So anyway, now whenever I see a snack I'm interested in, I'm trying to train myself. It's like, oh, if I look at a snack, oh, then I buy it. If I see a drink and I think, oh, that looks good, then I buy it. So very, very good. Seems like not much time has passed, but it must have been a while, because the ferry is already coming back. Figure since I'm here, I might as well film the loading and unloading procedure. Sitting on one of these benches, and I better get my legs out of the way so nobody runs into me. Here are all the people coming off, and as I talked about, on the way out, this is where they pay. I think it's 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 per scooter. But I wonder if it's extra, if there's 2 people on the scooter. I can't tell. All very efficient. They don't waste any time. Oh yeah, it does seem to be, I can't quite tell how much money people are giving them. Wow, no, I missed all the loading though. Everybody got on very quickly as well. Goes so fast. Quite a few people were waiting, so I wonder if that means that they're going to leave more quickly, because they don't have to wait to fill up. They're already pretty full. You see just now the ferry is pulling away, but the ramp is still kind of touching the ground. I wonder if this guy's going to go for it. Yeah. Even when they're moving, 3 of them, 4 of them are all going to get on at the very last second. Yeah. Oh, and a guy on a bicycle. I wonder if he's going to make it. He's got a few seconds yet. There he goes. He's got to run. Yeah. Last second he got on. There's already a foot gap, and he still got it on. Well, the rain has cut short my wanderings for now. The ferry dock is just there behind me. I waited quite a long time for the worst of the rain to stop, and the storm is pretty much over. It's still drizzling though. So yeah, I've got my umbrella. You know, I've got my priorities straight as usual. The umbrella is keeping my GoPro dry, not me. But I think this is going to be it for my morning's wanderings. I was going to continue on through the park. There's a big park area here I haven't seen yet. And I was going to try and take a bus to the downtown area, get all that figured out. But I don't think so. The rain is going to stop my wanderings for now. Just going to head back to the hotel, get dry, and enjoy the luxuries of the Mekong Rose Hotel. Have a cup of coffee in my room and take a look in the mirror, see how this haircut strikes me. I'm pretty pleased with it. I think he did a fine job, my barber here in Can Tho. And when I went to the Circle K this morning to pick up my giant tubs of water, I passed by this Kum Ga place, like chicken rice. Looked like a very comfortable place to sit, looked very local, very interesting, very simple. So I'm heading that way for dinner right now. Going to see if I can order some chicken rice. Seems to come recommended on Google Maps. People like the place. And it's right here in my neighborhood, so I picked it out as my dinner spot. And here's something I did notice this morning. A TP Bank right there. And I heard good things about TP Bank in terms of their ATMs. And I tried to track one down in Saigon before I left, but I wasn't able to. But there's one right there, so maybe I can withdraw some money there, keep me supplied in chicken rice, banh mi, and things like that. So yeah, there's a few restaurants right here. There's this one here, and then right beside it, this one here. This is what I've been thinking about for dinner, and I looked it up on Google Translate that it's Kum Ga or something like that, chicken rice, Kum Ga. So I'm gonna try to order something from here. So this looks like the grill over here. It's probably early. I always tend to go out everywhere a bit too early, but I think they have some chicken here ready to go. So yeah, chicken, and then I don't know, yeah, that looks like a pork over there, pork as well. So yeah, let's just dive in and see what the process is here for ordering. I see a table over here with regular chairs, so I think I'll take a seat here for now. Get down. Kum Ga?
Cơm gà.
Yeah? There's no room for my legs under the table, so yeah, I can't really fit here. I have to, it's like reminiscent of my time on the luxury limousine bus. But anyway, the guy already came to my table, and I just said to him with a questioning tone of voice, Kum Ga? And he ran right off to, yeah, get me that. And I think this is him right now. Ew. There it is. And I think it comes with soup. There we go, bowl of soup. Very nice. Looks good, nice and simple, exactly what I was hoping for. And very fast service. I don't know that I'll have a lot to say about my chicken rice. But yeah, let's just dive in. Oh, looks like a generous portion of chicken, so that's good. Now I remember, in the online reviews, people were talking about how it has a nice flavor because the chicken is marinated in something special and tasty. Very nice. And it comes with a bit of rice, slight cucumber, a couple of veggies, and then the bowl of broth. Ooh, it's very hot. Oh. We can't pick it up. Nice. You can never go wrong with a bowl of broth. Just to drink like that. Have one of them. Again, I'm reduced to caveman levels. I indicated I wanted something to drink. And at the table next to mine, the three men there have big glasses of something cold and full of ice, probably tea. And I just indicated, can I have what they're having, right? The classic, I'll have what they're having line. And here it comes. So, I'm assuming it's tea. Let's give it a sip to find out. Yeah, it's just lightly flavored tea. But as I talked about this morning, I'm on a new campaign to stay more hydrated because I never drink enough other than instant coffee. So I'm going to try to eat more often, I think, where instead of having a big meal that lasts a long time, just have a lot of more frequent small meals. Like I didn't really follow through on that today. I had the pho for breakfast. And this is my only meal of the day so far, other than the pho, but that was at like 6:30 this morning. It hardly counts. But the thing is, there are so many opportunities here to sample different types of food that if you only eat once a day, you can never try everything. There's only one dish per day, right? So if you eat lots of small meals, then at least you get more variety. You can try out a lot more different things. It just takes more time out of your day to constantly be stopping and eating. But we'll see how that goes. I'll give you a view of the setting here. You hear a lot of cleaver action from up there because they're constantly chopping up the new chicken coming off the barbecue. So dinner is done. I enjoyed that a lot. I was reading all the reviews on Google Maps again, and I noticed that there were a lot of comments that the place is a little bit pricey. And people were pretty funny about the reviews as well. They would say, from the outside, I thought it was a one-star restaurant with low budget prices, and little did I know it was diamond-plated 5-star, that kind of thing. And so people have been surprised at the prices, and for my chicken rice with the soup and the iced tea came to 92,000 dong. And people said the prices here are comparable to Saigon prices. People are saying, oh, I didn't know I was eating in Saigon. You know, those are Saigon prices, not prices in a smaller regional city. But from my point of view, the amount of chicken I think that factors into it. People who were leaving comments that it was a little expensive, they seem to say they got small portions, but I got a large portion of chicken, a lot of big pieces. In fact, I kept thinking I was done. I thought I was done my meal, and I found another big chunk of chicken I hadn't eaten yet. And I finished that, and I thought I was done. And then there was another piece, and I'd long ago finished all my rice and veggies and soup, and I was still going through the chicken. So I think 92,000 is a lot for a local chicken rice meal, but I think they give good value for their price. That I had so much chicken, nicely marinated. And then one funny thing happened at the very end. It's a very good lesson in how to be a foreigner, because when I went to pay, the young man who served me at the beginning was nowhere in sight. I was trying to find him because he knew what I ordered, he knew who I was, there wouldn't be any confusion. I wanted to get him so I could pay him, but he was gone. So I was sort of looking around, and I had money in my hand, and a woman who works here, apparently, I didn't know she worked here, but there was a woman who came by my table. She saw that I was looking to pay, so she came over to my table and took my money and brought it up to the front. They have a plastic bowl on a table there, and she just sort of tosses the money in there, and then she rummages around inside this plastic bowl to come up with the change and brought it back to my table. So she was the one who took my money, and she did it in a somewhat cavalier way, and I saw the way she was going around to other tables, just sort of not snatching the money, but she wasn't making a ceremony out of it, put it that way. She was a little bit abrupt and just sort of tossing money in and then coming back and not even looking at the person, but just holding out her hand and saying, holding out a crumpled bill, like, here's your change. And it was a little bit unpleasant the way she was like taking money from people, I thought. So I was making a judgment about her because of the way she was behaving. And then I was all done my meal. Some guys came and cleared away all of my plates, but I did have this cup left, but it was full of ice on the bottom, and I was just making my way through the ice cubes. I like to eat all the ice cubes. I sit here for a while, relax, enjoy myself, and then I take mouthful after mouthful of ice cubes. I really enjoy doing that and suck on all the ice and like that. So I was holding the cup up like this, just had no tea in it, just ice. And the same woman with the sort of abrupt mannerism, she just grabbed it out of my hand. She said something and just ripped it, like really harshly, like out of my hand. And I thought she was taking it away because they were clearing all the tables. And I was annoyed. I had a little flash moment of annoyance, like, oh, come on. I wasn't done eating the ice yet. And I was kind of annoyed with her, and I was making up my mind about her as a very poor attendant, food, like table attendant for this restaurant. And I was just making up my mind about that, but then she came around the corner and she'd refilled it for me. That's what she was doing. She took away the cup, not because she was just clearing the table to get rid of me. She saw that my cup was empty and she filled it up for me again and then brought it back. So my judgment about her was completely wrong. Oh, so glad that she brought me more iced tea. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but as a foreigner, I think when you're overseas, sometimes you're a little bit defensive. I know a lot of people are very concerned about price. They don't want to be cheated. They don't want to be ripped off, and they get hypersensitive, thinking that they're being ripped off or thinking that someone treated them badly. But you can't really jump to conclusions. You have to wait until the dust settles, and then quite often later on, the penny drops, and you're like, oh, that's what was going on. She wasn't taking away my ice, she was refilling my glass, right? So yeah, you cannot rush to judgment when you're overseas. You'll get yourself in trouble all the time if you do that. Most of the time, when a foreigner like me is in a situation where something seems to have gone wrong or they're unhappy, quite often the foreigner just didn't understand what was going on. So you have to be aware of that, I find. So, and that was the case here, very much so. So yeah, I feel really good about the meal here. And I like the atmosphere. I like my table. I like my iced tea. So I think that is the end of my day here, my first day in Can Tho. Enjoyed it quite a bit. I just stayed in my local neighborhood. I had bigger plans at the beginning where I was going to explore a lot more of this area, this neighborhood, and even go downtown, figure out the local buses. I was going to do a lot more. But in the end, the rain interfered with that because it rained so heavily. I wasn't able to keep going during the day. But I did more than enough in the morning. I got that haircut, which was such an amazing experience. I loved that. And taking the ferry across the river and had all those experiences on the ferry. Got the bread, the fried bread, the sugarcane juice. Got to sit there for a long time just watching all the systems that they use there for payment, people getting on and off the ferry, all that sort of thing. I love to figure out how places work. And now to end the day, chicken rice and lots of iced tea. So I think I have to count that as a very successful day here. Enjoyed that quite a bit. All right, so that's it. Shutting down for now, the end of my day. And as always, thank you for coming with me through my GoPro, and I'll see you in the next video.